Hello everybody, it is I, the President of Video Games, and I am here to tell you that the state of our video games in 2024 is strong. But it's not so strong for the people who make video games. Mass layoffs, studio closures, but what you gotta understand is that corporations need to be understood. This was all very necessary because companies have been so busy with everything that this firing statement for all the staff of Humble Games was probably written by an AI. Okay, fire Crag the Red, please burn it all to the ground.
It is, as they say, your funeral.
Except for Krafton, who published PUBG, who bought up and saved Tango Gameworks and the Hi-Fi Rush IP after Xbox responded to Hi-Fi Rush's runaway success by closing the studio. Thank you, Xbox. Any follow-up comments?
Shouldn't succeeding in that way ensure the future of a studio?
You know...
Thank you, Xbox. Okay, how are you going to address this by the next showcase to win back the trust and respect of the consumer? We gave Doom Guy a shield? Yay! That's the wrong cut. That's Nintendo, that's not Xbox. So closing Arcane Austin, Alpha Dog Games, and Tango Gameworks equals one Doom Shield. Okay, that's good math to know. Not to be outdone, Sony's done 900 plus layoffs with a new $700 console, but Concord is technically worth $25,000, so that's not fun math no matter how you slice it. And then, as I was writing this script, Ubisoft closed the studio behind Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, once again rejecting a sequel to their successful despite the odds game. At least they didn't fire them outright, so thanks Ubisoft, I guess. We'll call it square if you at least greenlight Hype the Time Quest 2, you soulless sons of... The Forest was pretty good, 2D Zelda was pretty good, what else? Let's see. Baldur's Gate 3 Patch 7 was fire and free, Switch 2 is coming any day now, Arlo is preparing the Seance ritual as I speak. Speaking of, I tend to like Nintendo, especially with how they treat their employees, not so much how they tend to treat their audience. And the less said about Pokemon right now, the better. But until Switch 2 drops, I'm just here enjoying the Thousand Year Door remake and enjoying the relatively high retention rate at Nintendo, and remaining thankful we got so many talented individuals left in the business working at a high level. These old masters like Eiji Aonuma, lead designer on Ocarina and led the production of Tears of the Kingdom, that is longevity. Shigeru Miyamoto's comments on the Nintendo Museum seem to represent a willingness to actually discuss their past as a company, and that's a step in the right direction. And Masahiro Sakurai, whose YouTube channel has cost him over $600,000 by keeping the ads off, a wonderful repository of knowledge. We do not deserve him. And that's really where I draw inspiration from when it comes to the industry, the individuals within it, and it doesn't get much more individual than indie games. We are in a golden age right now of back-to-back bangers, from Felvidec to Animal Whale to Crow Country to Balatro to Thank Goodness You're Here to Mouthwashing. I can barely keep up, and that's a good thing. There are so many good indie games out. I, someone who plays an indie game almost every week, have still not played Arco, and I want to because it looks and sounds like a dream. And people are making their stances on everything from AI to over-monetization known. Eric Baroni claiming on his family honor he'll never charge more for Stardew Valley, even though he justifiably could. Studios like From Software increasing the average basic salary pay its employees receive by almost 12%. Game unionization picking up the pace this year, as well it should. There are good actors out there and an audience demand for human stories told by happy humans. But the audience does have to make the demand, and individuals are going to have to make their stances known if things are going to change. I hope that is what will help us. And also the video game industry. But you know what it's really going to take to improve the state of video games in 2024? That's right. You know what's going to save us. We got to get together and vote. And by vote, I mean vote for Secret Agent Wizard Boy in the International Crime Syndicate wish list. That game, it's gonna be the game of the year, ladies and gentlemen.